Good morning, everyone. It's a joy to be here, and I just suddenly saw somebody, and I'm happy he realizes that he's the one. Okay, Yinka, thank you very much for this platform. I truly celebrate you. I think you're awesome. You're truly a special woman. Yeah, but I'm going to shock you. Yinka is not the main person I'd like to celebrate this morning. Toyosi, please stand up and take a bow. I'm an advocate for good marriages. I'll be married 22 years in March. I'm still crazy in love. And I know that the only reason Yinka can do this with all the power and the projection is that she has a rock-solid man behind her who is not, and I don't take this lightly because men and egos are one and the same. And that's not a negative thing. It's how they were created, okay? This is a man who is not intimidated by the success of his wife. And I've seen him several times outside this room. And you can't start to count Ndidi if you have not started from my husband, Cordially. And I acknowledge him first. So ladies, I don't know what you hear out there. There are great marriages going on. I have one. I know Yinka has one. So shoot for yours. Okay? Okay, so let's dive in. I'm a positive disruptor. I'm not afraid to say crazy things that I think. So if you hear something crazy, maybe you want to take me up after that. This is one of my really favorite topics. Developing grit and resilience for career shocks. And I think the first thing that this topic says to me is nobody's necessarily born with it. If you have to develop it, right, that means this idea of you came with it and I didn't, right? So that's the first mentality. Just pack that one and throw it away. This is how we are in my family. You can be the one that breaks it and choose that from me onwards, we will be different, right? So if you have that mentality, know that word, develop. Okay, but we're going to be, let me not disgrace my life, pressing this thing that Nkebet came to ask for. John is owing us the meaning of shock in Igbo. When I'm done, he will help us. Because I know OC doesn't know. Me, for one, I don't know. So if you'd like to pass a note to John in front so that he gets it right, save the Igbo nation. Okay? So it'll be nice for us to understand where we're going. Grit and resilience are the two key words. And by the way, I like to teach from my experience, so everything I'm telling you is the life that I've lived, okay? A lot of it I've learned after almost dying. It's interesting, you think that they are one and the same, but resilience really speaks to your capacity to bounce back. Grit speaks to your capacity to continually bounce back till you get to that long-term goal. So, I don't know, in football, there's this ball that will be moving. As it's moving, it's spinning. And they say it's hard for the keeper to catch it, abi? And that's that ball. That's what they say, you people. What do you call it? I won't even try. Okay? That's what we're asking you to develop. A two-in-one, become that brutal two-in-one person. We're together. Abi? We've heard this one again and again. You see this left one? What people think success looks like, because people on Instagram are taking pictures in front of houses that they don't own, even the one that they own, in front of cars that they have never met in their life. People are photoshopping themselves into pictures. A picture is a static position, that millisecond. What happened before that picture and what happens after? You know you don't know. Okay. So I just want you to wake up. It's the same thing with marriage. When people ask me, oh, we want marriage advice. Number one advice, Cinderella is a cartoon character. Do you know that? So you and that your ball gown. There's no freaking prince on a horse coming to carry you to anywhere. You are going to fight. And I say this and people laugh. But think if you're married in the room. You have set an expectation that is not real. And you are fighting this human being because he's not meeting a character in storybook that never existed. Hey, wake up, oh. The same thing with your career. This is a fairy tale. It really doesn't exist. Now, this is the real deal. You see inside that mangled structure, if you look very well, you will find yourself. Everybody is a dot on that line. You are somewhere. And that's what we came to discuss. How do you navigate that season? Okay? So that you get out at the arrowhead of your life. And this is one of the most critical things that you will need for career, which is the context here, but you also need for life. And by the way, you know, I've put career shocks there, and almost all of them have happened to me. And I love how the topics are intertwined. So OC passed the baton to Nkebet. You see how Nkebet overlaid OC and came and delivered. Nkebet has dealt with part of my topic. So when we get there, it's the part she didn't touch. I'll follow. And I'm sure you'll find the same thing with John and Mr. Alabi. And we'll just have one concise outing. We're together, Abi? Personal tragedy. So that I don't look like, hey, this woman just, appeared. Because I'm not your fairy tale either. I'll tell you, I had a 7.5-month-old daughter that I lost in a fire in the course of my career. Jesus, yes. But she's healed, she's fine. Bounce back. You know, one of the things that I told God in that season, and I used to pray it so actively, I don't want this thing to change me. Some of you are in this room, one thing happened to you. I'm not going to be defined by that event. Where they say, oh, this is the way she is. Don't you remember 15 years ago, one fire that happened in their house, and then her daughter died. Since then, her colomenta just settled. Some of you have not been able to get over a job loss, and it has still defined your life till today. Please tell your neighbor, wake up. Don't be angry, oh, please. Don't be angry, please. I'm not a baby people, oh. And I'm here for frank talk. So if you feel sad, I'm sorry, but really I'm also almost not sorry. Take heart. My brother, God will bless you. Take heart. Promotion. You are still whining over that promotion that didn't happen. One of the things that I teach in the CCG circuit is managing an appraiser. Those of you who whine after a promotion, you have just confirmed what your boss wrote. That you are a jerk. That's why you're like that. Your freaking job is to prove that boss wrong. How do you prove him wrong? Your bounce back effect. You get up. You work harder than anybody else in the room. And when you see a guy like that, he's going somewhere. You know what that happens? I'm a boss also. You know what that makes your boss do? He starts to rethink. Did I take the right decision? But the most beautiful thing about this, you suddenly earn yourself a mentor and a sponsor. He starts to take your career very seriously. Starts to speak up for you because you showed him something he didn't expect. Are you going to be different and special? Or are you going to be normal? Bounce back. Areas leading to disciplinary action. We all make mistakes. Bounce back. Collateral damage from corporate politicking. If you didn't take anything out of it, sure you took, you understand. By the way, please, I beg you in the name of God, those of you who say politics like it's a dirty word, politics is not a dirty word. It is a reality in the corporate workspace. You are seeing people with horrid values playing their own politics. And who are you to tell adults how to behave? Play your own. But whether you will discard politics, no. It's going to be happening. It happened in the Bible. who went to meet Jesus to say, please, when you get there, let my sons, one sit on your right and one sit on your left. What do you think that was? Thank you. Abi, we are together. We are just, okay, but I told you this thing, don't come and disgrace me. I like this slide. Who is this? We know Abi. You know the movie. What do you like about this movie? Talk now. Gang. Action. What's happening when they start doing What's happening? No, talk now. When you are hearing ting, what wants to happen? Action. What's action? Pishao, yes. But you realize that the reason you watch those movies and you call them great is because the actor almost died. Meanwhile, in your own life, you don't want a great picture. It's the truth. So, any beautiful story, we're doing a mindset shift. It's a checkered story. If your story is not checkered, we have no interest in you because you got nothing going. I want to say amen, Pastor Osi. Help my ministry. Hallelujah. So this is the truth. Yeah, so preach up. So if you are truly going to be James Bond in your lifetime, just be ready. You see that in Quebec Road? If you are driving that road and you are speeding, your car go dey fly. That's you. So make up your mind. Do I want to be 007? Do I want to make it all the way to the top? This is what it will take. Okay? But we are here to discuss how are we going to navigate those Pishan seasons. Settle down. The capacity to lift heavy comes from heavy lifting. How many of us go to the gym? Hey. Okay, me too, I don't go to the gym. That's together. But I work out. Okay? The process of building muscle. How you build muscle is that you tear it. When you tear it, it's called muscle hypertrophy or something. Google it. Mm-hmm. The process of healing and binding back is how you develop more muscle. Okpe, this is where you should be helping me now. Okpe Filani runs 10 kilometers every day. And that's him in cap. Not ordinary human being. You are sitting beside. Great guy. Who did whom? Where is he paying you from? So, when the muscle is binding back, is how from lifting small, you can lift more. That's when a man, from being like this, is suddenly like this. Buga. Bugaing without song. Right? So, this is what happens. That's how you build grit. But before we run to exactly building that grit, two foundations we need to lay, two critical talking points. Two major things that you need to prepare if you're going to successfully develop grit. And remember, I've said to you this, as I share with you, is also my life's experience. Rewiring the brain. And this is always where you start. Real change happens from the inside out. In all of us, we talk a good game. I'm going to be recruiting some senior executives soon. And my head of HR was speaking to me about it. And he was talking about the interview process. And I said, no, that's not how I play it. He says, why? I said, me, Ndidi, I can't fail an interview. We are great. Insta life. A good game. If it's the English, I will speak it. I've researched you, so that thing you want to hear, I will tell you. By the time we are done, ooh, ah. But it's not necessarily your reality. So let's start to stomp on your reality. My number one any day, correct your fundamental beliefs. My fundamental belief when it comes to work and most other things. If you know me, you know I live by a mantra. Who knows my mantra? Impossible is nothing. Me and Adidas, we are sharing it. It belongs to two of us. I can't explain to you sufficiently how that singular statement and embracing it as hard as I have has changed my life. But the first question is, what do you really believe? Forget what you tell Nkebet and what I tell Osi and tell, What do you really believe? Some of you are here. Your belief is, it shall come when it shall come. And so shall it be coming. Nothing is going to happen. You know, I came from a poor background. That's some people's story here. Other people, we have it in our family. Because my husband is not rich. Because I am not fine. Because I'm short. It's funny, but it is real. This is the singular thing that is between you and where you can be. And it's not motivational speaking, no. This is me, I'm telling you. So ask yourself that question. I know what I've been telling other people. What do I really believe? And if what you believe is self-limiting, I want you this afternoon. Okay. This afternoon to make a severe mental shift. If you've started to have that conversation, second most critical thing, sometimes people ask me, how can I be better? And one of the main things you will hear me say is change your conversation with yourself. There are 20,000 conversations happening in this room. Some are talking to spirit. But truth be told, most of the conversations is with yourself. Some of you have just lost distraction. And instead of you to focus on you and focus on what you are telling yourself, you are having a conversation with Ndidi that doesn't know she's having a conversation with you. Say, this woman, if only I could leave this woman. Because then again, this thing I say about my husband, you don't even know if we are quarreling. No, be honest. It can just be facade. People are now cold. Change your conversation with yourself. What do you say to yourself? Example. So, myself and Nkebet, we worked in the same organization when we were both in Abuja. And Kike is in the room also. You see that blasting that they used to blast? That they will give you hot. Not this your generation, then they give you now. Those things don't disturb me. I was interviewing a guy the other day. I said, you're arrogant. And he said, oh, he's sorry if he comes across. I said, no, it doesn't faze me. Because I know what I came into the room to do. So all that drama. So when a man is talking to me, I think perspective. Okay, this is shouting, this insult is the vehicle that is carrying the message. So I'm focused, okay, what's the real message? I've trained myself. So by the time you leave the room and you are whining, me, I don't whine. I've heard what I need to hear. Some of you, they say, you are daft. Say, nobody, my family. Nobody has ever called us daft. Do you know what Ndidi says? Oh, wow, that's his opinion. I wonder why that's his opinion. But I disagree. So I take control of the conversation. I control what is coming into my head. I control what is settling in my heart. And you can have that kind of control. You got to start to build the man on the inside. Be intentional about your space. Nkebet and Nosi have talked about this. Those of you that, let me just give an example. You just landed a new job or moved to a new department. The next thing, somebody has come to meet you. Hi, Nkebet, my name is Didi. Like to meet you. Then from there, you're welcome. We've heard so much about you. First, you know, I don't sit down. Not that devil John, wait there for office. You see John and Mr. Alabi, run! But they've tainted you. You don't even ask yourself, what is her interest in you that she feels a need to tell you about bosses? Other than she has her own agenda. All of you that your self-confidence has waned, build it up. And you are looking for groupie inside the office. Now, the day for corner, they talk. Backbiters stay behind you. And you see all those things you say. You see, one thing I've learned in my career, the gist. I don't ever look for it. I tell my people, the gist will carry his leg. Come and knock, open. Tell me who said it. Then, Associate said, I'm human. You don't touch your appraiser. Small. Inka, we came here to say the truth, Abi. Don't be angry, oh. But, my brother, where are you? When I just say don't be angry, just say take heart. The person that say, don't be angry, oh. Thank you. Address issues through perspective. When people tell you something cannot be done, especially you ladies, be bold enough to say, why not? And Kike and Nkebet have worked with or around me. And people will tell you one thing about me in an organization. Me, I can challenge status quo for Africa. This is the way we have been doing it since 15 years. Why? So, beyond challenging status quo in an organization, challenge status quo in your life. No woman has ever, why? It's impossible till it's done. Not so. Why am I not the person who will do it? Abi? Oh, okay. So, opinions are valid and you should accept that the things people say are in reality their opinion. And it's what it is. All right? It's not always necessarily fact. You will fight less if you have that perspective. So you want to ask, why does he have this opinion anyway? But accept that it's an opinion. We together? Yes. Don't be angry. Thank you. Thanks for that taking heart. Nkebet, you are the one that brought this thing. I was going to use Somto. I'm pressing the thing. Okay, you know it's my nail. Now what? We must find by force. If you say you have met me and I haven't told you about this book, you haven't met me. Go and read this book. It changed my life. Go and read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. It will disrupt your life. Okay? And I think the young generation need to read Stephen Covey's book. Please don't miss any parts. You know, there's one introductory part before he goes to the 7 habits. That part is extremely important too. So don't jump into chapter 1. Yeah. Isomto. I wish you saw this picture. Part 2. The outside, training the body. If you have rewired your mind, then the thing that carries your mind, you also need to deal with the robots. And for me, there are 2 critical things to address. Your routines, which are the things you do, creating order for yourself by yourself. Nkebet has dealt with this. But one of the most critical things that I've discovered in my life, and I will show you that scripture supports it. Your day starts the night before. You know what the Bible says? And the evening and the morning was the first day. But you know, the way they've wired us in Nigeria, your day starts morning to evening. So every time you order your life thinking morning to evening, it causes a problem. So I find that in my life, whenever I find that I'm struggling and there's a disconnect, practical reality, I go back and I check. Question number 1, when do I go to bed the previous day? Do you know, once I correct that singular thing, I'm good. Hey, as simple as this thing I said, to change your life. So the things that you need to do so that you can deal with all the challenges that come in your life, expected and unexpected. I love to exercise. I'm not like Okpeo. Yeah? But typically I like to walk 8 kilometers every morning, 5 days a week. But as I'm walking, now so my mouth too, they walk. So there's an equilibrium. So therefore, the weight is stable. God will help us, yes. I told Joke that I don't want to eat. Joke, watch me, or maybe like 4 now. If you see me with bucket of chicken. Your logistics. Exactly what time do you need to leave home to get to work at 7:30? You need to know that time. When I was much younger and I lived in Ikeja with my parents when I first started working, if I didn't leave the house 15 minutes to 6 a.m., I'll get to work after 8. But if I leave 15 minutes to 6, I'll get there at about 7:30. Amazing. You need to figure it out and make sure you see that time doesn't cross you. Because you know the way your life is, let me not waste time here. Nkebet has said it, calendar, if I show you my own phone too, calendar, you have to order your life. And then you have to develop coping mechanisms, which is the support system you build around you that creates order through others. Number 1, send your money on errand. So that money, the problem some of us have is you think of the monetary value as naira and kobo. Please think about it as the peace and the rest that it gives you. Pay for your peace. When we were in Abuja, and we're much younger officers in the bank, I had Auntie Eukaria in the market. Me and my 3330 phone, I will send her text. The woman is not from my village. I don't know her from anywhere. I went to meet her in the market. Please, can I be sending you text? So she would have arranged everything. And she will send me text, the amount. I will drive by. I will bring the cash. I will give her. She will carry all my vegetables. She has cut it. Why? Because I discovered that on Saturday, I will go out. Market, then I will come back. And I will be cooking. Perfect wife syndrome. 1 soup, 2 pots of soup, 1 pot of stew, pot of beans. So you know the remaining things, they can boil. Just boil and associate it and everybody is okay. It was madness. But I was mindful also. I listen to what my husband is not saying because my husband is not quite a talker. When they tell me something like, you know that you're a goosey soup, signal. I want the soup you use your hand to cook. I will enter the kitchen, I will not die. That one off, I will do it for you. Because I love you. Not you. You know who I'm talking about. John is my brother. John, una marry well now. Una marry well. Nkebet said, create you time. Every time people see me, they say, your nails are always done. Not because I like to do nails. I just like that being alone. When it's just the nail technician and me, there's just something about it calming me down. So that's the reason I do nails, not because I like nails. It's me time. Spa. Let work have more meaning than money. You have to find a way to connect to work. And it's asking yourself the fundamental question, why am I in this at all? And a valid answer is for the money. You know, say, I'm not too humble for Nigeria. Now, no, they like, say, no, I was led. I love children. Since I was born, my mother always said, I was meant for, stop that nonsense. The reason you are there is the money. Embrace it. And it's a good enough reason. I don't freaking like this job, but I'm in this for the money. Because I know the role the money plays in my life. The money is the one that enables me go and watch movie, date night every night. And that's what I really live for. Valid. Don't let anybody tell you that your position is not valid. Like I said, it's their opinion. And identify a support system, invest and nurture it, which Nkebet incredibly captured. Ha! Oh yeah, let's say this together. Want to go? If you're ready, wait. You see that last part, the way I wrote it? You will say it like that, or I will not talk again. Okay, so let's go. If you're ready, it's time to really build grit. It's time to move. So this last slide is why we came. Remember that man that was carrying weight, how the thing used to damage him. And every day we go and lift higher and lift more and lift more. Begin with the end in mind. You know, ultimately you have a desire in life. But this is exactly what it would take. What you have capacity does not leave room for growth. So every time you are looking for a job and it exactly matches your skill, wrong job. Yes, so. Don't worry, me too, I've been there. Wrong job. Why do you even take that kind of work? It's not exciting now. What will you be aspiring to? You don't like that baby girl life? No. Right? So what you have capacity for does not leave room for growth. So if you're intentional about growing, if you want to develop grit, you have to find something that builds in itself some kind of resistance. It is pushing you back actively, and you have to push forward. That's how you get stronger. Take challenging opportunities, but more importantly, don't wait to be asked. Be brave to request. I think Osi said that. Ladies in the house, you know you people not too like to be good girl. Good girl is not for office. Me too, I've been there. I've been a good girl. Sometimes you got to get up and say, this is what I want. You see, men, I love them. Men will not get your skill half. Once you request for CV, they will pack. But the ladies will be there. Hey, Microsoft Excel is missing. Let me just. Ladies, be brave now. At least cross the interview, talk a good game. Then when you enter, look for people like Osi. Osi, I better come quickly teach me this part. You can't know everything. Number 3. This is the wrong slide, you know. What does not scare you is not worth it. Me, I used it for this, my next job. As in, as you are looking for the work, you are afraid. Hey, and that's the job. Yes, so it's the job. Sure, you say you want to build grit. You two want to be Hillary Clinton. Okonjo. Sure, you saw how she came to do Minister of Finance and they showed her pepper and fire. Say, it's not for me, it's for you. That's how you get stronger. That's how you build a network, right? Playing it safe will not work. Right? Patience. I belong to this virtual running club, and there's something the coach says. Run slow to run fast. The truth is, you have to be patient with yourself. Because, you know, in the midst of it, you're going to make errors. Mistakes are part of learning. That's how you grow. So don't let one mistake, one thing kill you. Just be patient, all right? People who run a long distance and start with a sprint almost never make it to the end. Okay, Abi? I'm correct. So one move, one step in front of the other, one challenge after another, okay? Every time you move from the bottom to the top at the speed of light without building the grit. I think Nkebet spoke about it. You will crash when it matters. And let me give you a real example. You know, I look at this younger generation and sometimes people tell me, you know, why are they like that? I said, they don't have real bills. Do you have real bills? Is it that nursery school crash that you are crying up and down? Come and pay university school fees. Then we know that you are serious. Eh? Me, I have, see, witness in the house. She almost stumbled. So I have 2 boys in the university. My structure is different. I have 3 kids. 2 boys in the university, 400 level and 200 level. And then my daughter is in grade 3. Wonderful. Oh. 3A, yeah, for you. Twitter will not kill me. So, maturity is critically important. Don't burn your career at a time when you will be paying university school fees. Then you compromise your children. Okay? Very early on, I don't typically recommend that money should be your focus, to be honest. Typically, an organization is giving you more than you're giving them. Be there, soak it up, learn from the great guys, because those great guys will not be there forever. But everything you take from them will be in you forever and will determine how far you ultimately go. Finally, apply perspective thinking. Once again, why am I in this game? I can go and work in PwC, but PwC pays. I can go and work in EY. Right? But EY pays much less than Femi Ajoke and sisters. Right? But you know, I have a reason why I went to EY. There's a network. There's a live brand. There's a skill set I want to gather. There's what I want to get. Please begin with the end in mind. When people tell you that you are mad, you know those of you that you know how to remove your wig and fling it. Those of you that feel like slapping the boss and you actually slap him. Let me tell you, you are not thinking. Why will you, because of a small upset, destroy your entire life? And I've seen people who were great on the job. They had a scuffle with a boss. The boss didn't necessarily sing it, but you know, he followed them through their career. Because every time people wanted to hire them, and they went on, I said, that one that almost beat his Oga. And it's the singular reason. No, I'm telling you a real life story. Why people are not hiring that individual. So calm down. You need to mature, apply perspective thinking. I'm going to be like OC, right? And just say, go and do this one first. The thing is not even allowing me. Try now. Somto. You know me before Somto. Let's go and do the little. But typically, when you're making change, I don't recommend that you do more than 2 or 3 things. Whenever you want to capture everything that we've taught you, and want to change every single thing, I know that you are not really planning to change. So pick 2 critical things in this room and say, I'm going to do 1 and 2 differently. And trust me, that's enough. It's a good start. Thank you, everyone.